Hi everybody, it's Fish Shozo again, here with Pope Metallica on the last day of 2022.
Yeah, and what a year it's been.
Mm,
Although
I
we at
mean,
least got
I'm
to see Disney, we at least got to see Disney start crashing and burning. So there's that.
same here, same here. That evil institution. I mean,
Yeah, so
somebody,
silver linings,
yeah,
and all that.
yeah, yeah. Like somebody got to stand with them eventually.
And, well, I mean, it
Yeah, so
looks like they're just going to fall down on their own.
yeah, yeah. So
Like, what was it, Ryan? What was it Ryan was saying earlier? This is the worst year they've had since 1974.
yeah. That's my attitude. Somebody got to stand up to them. If you study history, study laws, evil organization, medical stuff like this. So somebody got to stand up to them eventually. It's only a matter of time.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but so and we discussing the Elfen League. Um, this anime of 2004 that's very controversial because some people like this, some people don't. Very split anime.
And it's
Most
one
of
of
the
those
people,
animes. Like, if you're not into like very adult content and very graphic animes, I would, yeah, skip this one. It starts off pretty graphic and it doesn't get any better.
yeah, because the first scene is shows here's main antagonist or protagonist. They say she's the main. People say she's the main protagonist, but she's so vile that it's kind of hard. You don't really sympathize. You don't really relate to her at any point. I mean,
Yeah, she like it's kind of hard to be the good guy covered in that much blood.
no, because the first I know how because a lot of people sympathize. Some other people sympathize with Lucy. I didn't because I hate Lucy from almost the first scene because one of the first things you see her do is kill a civilian, unarmed
Yep.
combatant, non-combatant, unarmed non like she kills. She's not just trying to escape from the government facility. She's killing people who surrender. She's killing yeah. She's she's killing unarmed combatant, non-combatant.
Yeah,
She killed
she's basically just murdering everything.
yeah because I spike. That's when that's why I just saw the character like okay okay this is probably the main antagonist of the show. At least he's a horror person to begin with. So we how do you slowly reveal how powers work over the first two episodes is very well done.
Yeah, where they don't explain it right off the bat, and you don't see how she's doing what she's doing. All you know is that like people are shooting at her, and it's just not doing anything.
Yeah, bullets floating there. Now, immediately from this scene, I assume it's some form of telekinesis, and that's what it is. But it's more specific how it works.
Yeah, like she's telekinetic in some way, shape, or form because it shows it to you basically from in the first couple of scenes, but they
Mm.
never explain it until like episode 3 or 4. What's really going on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bullets stop in midair. Her telekinesis only has two meter range.
Which is
Uh,
apparently based on the individual because she's not the only one with these kind of powers.
I know. I know there are others out there, but we're getting into that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, People shoot at her. Bullets stop midair. She tears people apart, losing the powers. Literally limb from limb.
Yeah.
These rip people heart out. Um, like yeah, and she does this, yeah, and then eventually, and then she doesn't kill Chief Karama. There's a reason for it. Uh, it's not that she likes him either.
No.
She, she spares some people she hates the most. We learn why. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was one of the things that like it kind of made sense, but kind of didn't. Is just like she wants him to watch, I guess.
No, no. There's a bonus episode that was on released on DVD, that explains.
Oh, okay.
Uh, she hates. She doesn't say she has a particular grudge against him.
I can see
So
why.
so she Yeah, so she because she hates him more, she gonna let him live so that he can live with the pain of seeing her kill her massacre thousands of people. She does that
Okay,
quite
that
often.
one makes more sense then.
Yeah, she does that quite often. I mean, as we see later on in the show with Coda. Now
Yeah.
now and then she almost gets away, but then they shoot her in the head with an anti-tank rifle. The telekinesis actually does slow it down, but not enough to not enough to stop from hitting her in the head.
Which, as someone who's seen what 50 caliber does to things, yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm. Yeah, so it still hits her in the head. Um, she falls into the river, into the water. I think it's by the basically actually by the ocean. Right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so because she washes up on the beach. So
Yeah, yeah, she walks on the beach. Yeah, she's basically by the ocean. So, uh, but anyways, here's a change made from the manga here. There's a character that the character that's cut out from this anime. There's a reason for it. Okay, immediately after we get introduced to a college boy named Koda, and his cousin Yuka wants to get in a sexual relation with him. Keep in mind, keep in mind anime incest happens quite often in anime if you don't know.
yeah, that's a thing in anime. I
Because
don't know if
the
that's an
person
actual Japanese cultural thing or whether
it's
that's
not
just a quirk of the genre.
it's not a Japanese cultural thing because some races have incest fetishes.
Yeah, well, Alabama's here too, but that doesn't mean we have to like it.
Wait, did they actually do that in Alabama?
Yeah.
Because there's one state over from me, but no, no,
And
no, I never been to Alabama. I just been around Georgia.
Alabama's a
But
special place, and so are most of the people who
okay.
are from there.
Well, no, with the cousin, no, the cousin relationship thing no Asian people countries don't have a problem with that. Like in general, like not just Japan, it's China, Korea. So
Yeah, I know the
uh,
Middle East doesn't have a problem with it at all.
yeah, the Asian people countries don't have a problem with that at all. That much either.
Yeah, they have a bunch of things over there that they're just not concerned with, which,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, like cousins bang each other. They don't see a much of a problem with that. But even though we probably will lead to deformed babies, but but uh, but but anyways, yeah, in the manga, there's a character who's Yuka's best friend. That was cut out from the anime because she serves none to the plot. Not only does she not serve anything to the plot, but also it's just there. The only reason why the character was just there because showcase the author's fetish for girls peeing themselves.
Ah,
That's the only reason why the character's there in the manga. So might as well cut it out from anime.
so that's one of those examples of things that should have been left out and were.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because this character has no reason to exist. So so yeah.
And those are always
So
characters that like we focus on in shows that it's like, why is this person here? They don't do anything.
yeah, 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 like this girl, this look, college girl, she wears a diaper, and the reason why it's there because author has a fetish for that, like what, like that. There's no reason she serves nothing to the plot, so might as well cut it out.
Yeah, that's one of those like, okay, yep, that's fair.
So they find Lucy. They find Lucy on the beach. Before that we also learned Coda lost his he's been to the crazy house and he lost his parents, lost his dad and dad and sister. From what the authorities told him, his sister got sick and died, and his dad died in a car accident. But that's not actually the case.
Yeah, which we find
He,
out way later in the show. They actually tell you what ended up what really happened.
yeah, because he experienced so much trauma that he lost his memories of what happened.
Which is a real thing that does happen to some people in traumatic episodes like that.
Yeah. Mm, no, but yeah. So now so they find Lucy on the beach naked, and then you go immediately decides the clover and bring him into the house that is that they're staring at, and and Chief Karama, who's this Japanese government guy, goes to what's the Japanese Self Defense Force to find this a character called Bundo, uh, who is literally just a copy of Duke Nukem. Like,
Pretty much, like he just exists to kill, and that's what he does.
no, well, he looks and acts exactly like Duke Nukem. Well, the
I won't say he looks a
only
lot
difference
like him, but he does act quite a bit like him.
they don't yeah. Although Bundo if you Bundo in the manga actually turns good, but it's kind of obvious from the anime. But yeah, he has positive qualities, but he does want to kill. He did come a soldier just to kill people, and that's it.
Yeah,
The Bundo, how you feel about Bundo as a whole?
yeah. But Bondo he's one of those characters that like you start off hating him because he's just an asshole
Hmm.
to everyone, including the people who are supposed to be on his team.
Hmm.
And then you do kind of sympathize with him a little bit, but also not really because he deserved everything that happened to him.
I no I stopped no I stopped no I realized he was turning he was starting to turn into a turnover and later on when he meets later on
Yeah,
and my
when he meets the girl there, he starts becoming a lot
more
less.
fleshed out.
Yeah, and he starts becoming a lot less one dimensional.
Yeah, because in the manga he actually turns good out right in. But the that actually may surprise you. Does
Yeah, I can't like that would be a pretty big 180 for his character, where he turns from basically just the guy who exists to murder things to actually being not a complete to being a good person, really.
yeah. I mean he's not. I mean yeah. That thing. I simply I actually didn't hate Bundle that much. Sure, he's an asshole, but
Well,
compared to
I didn't
Lucy.
really hate him, like just like hate the character. Like he's an interesting character, but I figured
Mhm,
but he is
mhm.
clearly a not a good character.
Yeah. But compared to Lucy, let's just say Bundle's lesser of two evils.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Like compared to Lucy, pretty much everyone's an angel.
Yeah. There's only one character, and there's only a couple characters in the manga who's just as bad as Lucy. Just as bad. There's only two characters in manga just as bad as Lucy. And okay, there's one to keep that in mind. And one's actually in this series.
Yeah,
So, um, um, but anyways, Lucy has amnesia and had developed another personality from being shot in the head with that's cat like. So called that you just call Neo because just meows.
yeah, pretty much. Which that can
Uh,
happen. That's believable. Of you just took a bullet to the head. Things are going to be a little scrambled up there.
mm, so uh, uh, yeah. I mean, she already had multiple personalities beforehand. So um, as we learn, as the manga reveals, it's kind of obvious though. But Luke, but anyways, the entire second episode is about Bundle trying to but the Japanese military was set to fight they set to kill Lucy,
Which
which
goes about as well as you'd think.
yeah set to kill Lucy and Bundle we learned something interesting about Bundle. When the police the government sent the police to look for her because they tell people that she's a murderer. She's actually a serial killer actually.
Which technically they're not wrong.
No, she's a serial killer, but she has superpowers. But
Yeah,
so but Bundle and the guy was partnering with Fine Cold and Lucy out in the rain
cut out there.
on the beach. the beach. We learned something interesting about Bundle. Bundle wants a challenge. He doesn't want a easy kill where he just execute somebody. Where he just execute somebody. He actually wants a challenge to face him because he wants Lucy because he wants Lucy to
Yeah,
fight
he's more
back.
of a hunter, where
Yeah.
he wants it to be difficult. He wants it to be a challenge instead of just
Hmm.
go over there,
Hmm.
pull the trigger, done.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. 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 He wants it to be a challenge. That's interesting because Lucy doesn't have that. But mm, as we as we
Well,
see.
she does once certain conditions are met.
No, she not. Yeah, she doesn't want to be a. No, Lucy doesn't want to be a challenge at all. But
No, I mean, she becomes a challenge.
she becomes a challenge. She doesn't want to be a challenge. But anyway, I mean, she likes to just kill defenseless people. That's her primary target. But
Yeah, pretty much.
I did okay anyway because she bumped her head, she wakes up. She comes Lucy's main personality comes back and she kills and she kills the guy he was partnered with, and we get
Which that one's a bit predictable because he's like a pretty nice guy overall, and like really
mm,
just doing what he's told and trying to accomplish the mission.
yeah, yes,
So
and then
he's like that guy. Well, I mean, in Star Trek, we would refer to him as a red shirt,
mm,
where it's just like,
uh
yeah, this guy's gonna get killed in like 3 seconds, isn't he?
yeah, but then we get a pretty well done fight scene. The fight scene in episode 2 is actually one of the best fight scenes high tension fight scenes I've seen in anime like this.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Like there's some ones
Like
from like some of the older animes like Rurouni Kenshin and stuff that are pretty excellent, but that's a pretty good fight scene overall.
yeah, this is old anime, 2004, yeah. So so like the scene which he shoots like especially with a non-powered individual fighting against a superpowered being. This is very well done.
Yeah, where he doesn't have any special abilities. He's just really good with a gun.
Yes, yes, yeah, like she splits the bow in half. Instead of just walking around it, like uh, and then like so many cool things happen during the fight. Like there's explosives.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, he has a couple of grenades and stuff like that. Which
yeah. And then she at one and then the fight scene ends with her picking up a gun, shooting him, even though it's shooting him when because he's out of range.
yep,
Uh,
and he knows about the 2 meter limit because they were told that in the mission brief.
yes,
And so he
yes.
stays outside of that. And, nobody ever told him that she knows how to pick up a gun.
Of course she does. And then she actually speaks for the first time in this entire anime. They do that was done very well because most of the time she never talks.
Yeah,
And when she started talking, and then she decided to torture Bundle instead of just killing him flat out because well, this is Lucy. We learned she has a lot of issues. So
yeah, she does.
uh,
Like she is clearly quite insane.
yeah, she tears his eyes out, tears his arms off. Well, she doesn't tear his arm off. She breaks his arms with her kinetic abilities.
Yep, and then blinds him.
Completely. Then pops both his eyes, and then starts she's gonna strangle him to death because it's more fun to just see him struggle for life.
This is the first time like this scene right here is like the first time you really see her sadistic side.
Yes. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
it will not be the last by any stretch.
Yeah. 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 Because more fun to see him struggle for life. Okay. I'm like, oh yeah,
So well, that's dark.
but she conveniently kind of turns back into a new state, new state before she finishes the job. And then Bundle gets helped by this other cat, another new character showed up in episode 2, who stays for the rest of the series, called named Mayu, who is a girl with a very dark backstory.
Yeah, to her, like when they go into her backstory and history, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this show is not pulling any punches.
Yeah, uh, Ma, Mayu, which yeah, so yeah, she actually, yeah, she actually calls for help, well, the help bundle of we see him injured on the ground. Uh, he
She
barely
does end up
survived.
becoming important later.
Yeah,
But she does actually
yeah,
help him.
yeah, yeah. But yeah. Uh, Code also lies to the police about Lucy because he thinks she might be a good person. He thinks she's a good person or something.
Well, because they've never
Uh,
seen her in her real form at this point. All they know her as is Mew,
yes,
who's completely
yes,
harmless.
yeah, completely harmless. They hadn't seen her real personality yet. Although Coda technically has, but he doesn't remember.
Yeah, he wouldn't remember anything about it.
Mm. Yeah, 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 yeah. So uh so an episode so then immediately after bundle failed, because of that, they had the Japanese government realized they had to fight fire with fire and get another Diclonius. We learned that, okay, they had to cut Bundle's balls off because he's been affected.
Yep.
So we learned how to reproduce, and it's horrifying, actually. Horrifying concept.
Yeah, pretty much. And they go into that a lot more later in the series.
Yeah, how they reproduce. Like, it's a horrifying concept. And Grandma had to be castrated as well. Uh,
Especially when you go out, he is the way he is. And you actually end up feeling really bad for him.
I did too. I did too. Yeah. So,
Because
so
yes,
best
he's
base.
evil, but not really.
No, not really. Not at all. Not at all. I sympathize with him completely. Same thing. I sympathize with him. Yeah. I sympathize both Kurama and Bundle, but I didn't sympathize with Lucy. Yeah. But the thing with those characters, they still have humanity.
Yeah. And their humanity is part of the problem.
Yeah. No, yeah, but they still have positive traits. The
Yeah.
or at
Whereas
least,
Lucy kind of doesn't. And that's the whole point, is that these characters, they look human, but they're not.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, exactly. Kurama raises that clone named Nana, who he named Nana, who is who is the only good guy that clones there is. She's a very nice the clones.
Yeah. Like she, like,
Like,
well, she even defines herself as that, like, I'm the good one,
mhm,
which,
yes,
which sounds like bullshit until you meet the rest of them, in which case, yeah, she really is the good one.
yeah. We also Crown reports to a guy who works in government called Director Kakazawa, who later we learn about more about him, especially in the manga. He's a very horrible person. He's actually
He's truly
he
evil.
he actually is just as bad as Lucy, and we learn why in the manga. We
In a
learn
lot
why
of ways,
then.
he's actually morally worse than Lucy, because Lucy is literally just doing this because that's who she is.
No, that's
That's
who
just
he
her
is too.
nature.
No, at the at the end of the show, he takes a wig off, so you know why he is as evil as Lucy.
Well, but they go into some weird stuff later in the show that we'll get to that makes me think that they weren't born that way.
No, he was actually, and no, the manga say he was.
Oh, okay.
So now you know why he ain't got the same motivation too.
Okay.
Oh yeah, just that the males don't often get powers, so he has to do the same stuff Lucy does, but some other kind of way. So
Pretty much. So he has the same motivation, just none of the abilities.
yeah, same with his son, but he hates his son. Treats his son like crap. Actually, he treats everybody like crap.
I was going to say, his son's hardly alone in that. He treats pretty much everyone horribly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so the son's a college professor, but and also we're yeah. So, but Sun's really just a tool, really.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's how he treats him.
Yeah.
It's like he's nothing but a implement to do what he wants.
Mhm. Yeah. So, yeah. So, but anyways, they send Nana to deal with the deal with Lucy this time rather than Bundo because he's the only good that clone is that clone is. So because of that, uh, so she'll remain loyal to them at least she do anything to impress her dad Karama, or at least that she sees him as her dad
Yeah,
because
that's
he
what she
basically
like.
basically.
That's what she's always been conditioned to call him, essentially.
Mm,
Which is interesting, given who one of the other characters in this series actually turns out to be.
yes, yes. And the moment I really started hating Lucy is when what happens is okay, what happens in episode 4 when Nana and Lucy encounter each other.
Yeah, and they immediately go at it.
Uh, I was in shock when the scene which Lucy was tearing apart was tore all Nana's limbs off. By the way, she established that established the hypocrisy when regards to Lucy because she really she really cares about she really does not care about that clonus at all. The clonus at all, really.
No, she doesn't see them as like friends or even on the same side.
No, she seems on the same side, but she's just tools mostly. You know, and yeah, so
And she's
they
almost
seem
as
as
likely to kill one of her own kind as she is a human.
not yeah, but no, she sees them as tools really, and Nana's on the side, and this might as well just be tortured. She's not like Magneto. She won't just uh, Magneto just keep sparing other mutants, even not on his side necessarily.
Yeah.
Uh,
And for those of you
uh,
who've only gotten into X Men in the last few years, I'm sorry. The story used to be so much better.
I know. Yeah, of course.
There
Yeah,
used to be a
exactly.
counter argument to Magneto's point of view.
Mhm. Yeah. Lucy dismembers Nana. This member. She tears all her limbs off, and but Nana manages to shut her powers off by using her vectors to attack her brain. Out of vector attack her brain, which temporarily shuts her powers off. If How the vectors work is that they're invisible hands, arms that stretch from the main body. That's normally intangible, but can be tangible. And the arms have super strength.
Yeah, which is why I always found those that to be a really cool power. And that's what kind of what makes this show stand out in a lot of ways is the power is very unique. You don't see it a lot in other anime.
I know. I never seen that before ever. I think the only thing that's similar to that was actually described in some novels I've heard about.
Yeah, and I mean, there's telekinesis and other stuff, but it's never like that defined.
Uh, invisible hand, that moves stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, and can actually kill people because it can vibrate itself at super speeds and actually has super strength in the arm, the invisible arm.
Yeah,
It's
like
also
and they can actually counteract each other.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas
So
normal
so I
telekinesis is kind of like the force, where like you have two telekinetic people and they're just kind of throwing stuff at each other.
mm, mm,
Whereas this is
yeah,
true, like they're fighting with hands no one else can see, which is what makes
yes,
them so dangerous. In that they look normal,
except for the horns on the going out
yeah,
their head.
but just because
And,
she's out of arm's reach doesn't mean you're safe.
yeah, and pink hair because even all the clones have that. But that's just a trait of them. But but that's when yeah when and then I felt sad when I thought they killed Nana off a little bit. That not be the case. Uh, but that not be the case. You know when he no, I mean, I actually thought Nana was dead when the first time I saw it.
Yeah, they kind of did make you believe she was dead for.
Yeah, up to episode 7. Then turns out she's alive. But but uh but they taking Mayu because she has nowhere else to go because she ran away from home because stepdad was sexually abusing her.
Yeah, yeah, she had a very bad childhood. I forget what happened to
Yeah,
her real parents. Were they killed by Lucy?
no, no. She just ran away from home.
Okay. Well, no, but her
This little
real
girl,
parents, not her step parents.
no. She don't have stepdad. She didn't have stepmom. That's a real mom.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
That's
she
right.
ran away from
I
home.
thought she was adopted somehow.
No, she wasn't adopted. She wasn't adopted. She adopted this. The mom married some other guy, and the guy turns out to be a creep.
Yeah, yeah. Those scenes are pretty harrowing.
And she blames her own daughter for it. So
That's one of those like you would never see that in any Western series. Like they'd imply it,
uh,
but they would never show it.
I mean, you can actually show this is a cartoon. You can actually show this stuff.
Yeah, but they show some pretty out there stuff that you would be illegal in if they did it live action.
Exactly, exactly. That's the thing with animation. You can do lots of stuff like that. So uh so we and the thing is they all think Lucy's nice. That the one of the biggest tension points for the show is that Coda, Yuka, and Maya all just think Lucy's nice because of her new persona. That
Because until like three-quarters of the way through the series, they've never actually seen Lucy.
yeah, they just seeing that new and the tension in the show comes from the fact that she might kill them at any moment. At any moment, so she could potentially
Yeah, and
kill
there's
them
a
at any
couple
moment.
scenes in there where she almost does.
Yes, yeah, because they don't notice that they're living in a house with a serial killer. So
Yeah, like so,
so
that's part of the tension of the show is like the audience knows that she's a monster.
yeah, but they don't know. So they in house with the
Yeah, and they
serial
all
killer.
treat her very nicely and all that, and it's all fine, right up until they find out what's actually going on.
Only Coda finds out in the anime. But but
Yeah,
uh but Coda Coda and you could try taking Lucy to college with the school with them, which is a very dumb idea. She came it was in college. She can't even speak, but the plan doesn't make that. That's a really dumb idea. And because of that, they actually meet Professor Kakazawa, who's the one that teaches at the college.
yeah, he's director Kakazawa's son.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So so Professor takes her away, makes up some
Because
convenience.
he immediately recognizes who she is.
Yeah, immediately recognizes who she is. Takes her away, and makes up some convenient story. Uh, what was the story they made up? I forgot.
That's like his brother's kid or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's just, yeah, convenient story. And then he planned to because keep in mind this is one of the biggest plot points in the show. Most cyclonists don't have functioning uteruses. Oh,
Yeah,
they
they
don't.
can't reproduce normally,
No, Nana doesn't. Like I said, Nana doesn't. Yeah, but Lucy's the only one that does.
and they don't go into it yet, but they do go later into the show why she does.
Mm, yeah, she's the only one with a functioning uterus. But so he plans to forcibly impregnate her with another clone's baby. Uh, so
And so
and
she
the plan
immediately kills him.
The plan didn't go well. The plan did not go well at all. Did not go well at all. His assistant, who always treating, she's overworked all the time. She always treating like crap. Uh, remember the assistant? I forgot what her name.
I don't think they ever tell you her name, do they?
I, I think I've not. I didn't know she has a name, but forgot it. But she appears quite often.
Yeah,
She
like
has a name.
I don't know that the anime they ever tell you her name. She's just this nameless research assistant.
No, she showed no. She shows up too many way too many times to be a nameless research assistant. She's always overworked.
Yeah, but I
And
don't remember her name if they do tell you.
there's a whole scene with the assistant and Director Kakazawa later. Let me
Yeah.
look it up. Um, but anyways, he tries to force, he tries to, he uses some drugs to knock her asleep, and then tries to force stuff on her, but, she wakes up as Lucy, which, and it causes her to kill him, despite the fact they both have, have the same motivation, and go.
Yeah, but
Uh,
they have the same motivation, completely different.
Methods.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Because in this scene we learned that Lucy actually hates humans. I
Yeah,
mean, that's a motivation for killing people. Because we don't even know why she was killing people, why she killed people earlier. But this scene we learned that Lucy and we learned that Professor Kakazawa was actually the clone too. That's one when I was here too.
yep,
Mm,
and
so
that's only seconds before she kills him. Does she realize that? Does he tell her
mhm.
that?
Yes, yeah. He tell you he's wearing a wig, and they actually bald. He actually bald got horns when I was there. Uh, uh, yeah, yeah. It doesn't, she says him weak because he doesn't have any powers, but I mean, then again, I don't really know. I mean, it's not like she's a better person than him, so I don't. Not really, when she killed him, I didn't really care
Yeah, that was kind of one of those like, well, yeah, you kind of got what you deserved that there, buddy.
because keep in mind, how you actually raped her, I wouldn't actually care that much.
I mean, that would make him a. I mean, he fully intended to. She just killed him before he could.
I know, but like, hey, I actually gone through with it, I wouldn't have cared actually.
I mean, that's one of those moral areas where it's just like that, like the whole two wrongs don't make a right thing.
No, because the thing is, but at that point, I lost so much empathy for Lucy that I didn't really care care whether or not anything bad happened to her.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I mean, especially because as a moral actor, she's abhorrent.
Yeah, exactly. So like just like criminals, I don't care when criminal too much when some criminals scared and get sent to prison and gets his butt violated. I don't really care when Lucy body gets sexual assault. I don't really care. I just
Yeah, that's
didn't
fair.
get I just didn't give a damn at that point.
Yeah, like
Doctor.
that's one of those like,
Oh,
well, that sucks.
yeah, but like no, the sister's name is Doctor Arakawa.
Arakawa, that was it.
So
Because I was like, I do like I don't remember them ever saying her name. Like,
Dr. Arakawa, the assistant, uh, uh, the assistant to the Professor Kakazawa. But
yeah, but they
they
never
actually
like really address her by name. She's just like this kind of ancillary character that's just kind of there, and they treat her like that.
in that in actual uh uh in actual it's funny in actual in anime in the actual manga she actually ends up being a very important character. No, very
Well,
important.
she does in the anime too, but it's probably not for the same reason.
Yeah, but yeah, and then yeah, uh, our Arakawa in the very next episode after the professor's decapitated, Coda and Arakawa find his severed head on the floor.
Yeah.
And that's when Coda finally learns about Diclonius.
Yeah, which is like he's completely clueless that all of this is going on, which is
Yeah, yeah,
another great
yeah,
part of the tension of the writing style of this show is like the audience knows all of this is happening and the main character has not a clue.
but that like he actually learns about the clones in this scene. But because she and it actually almost triggers memories at that moment. We see
Yeah.
severed head. So and no, our cow actually tells him about the Diclonians and that they kill people.
Yeah, but this is when he finds out about the Diclonius, but he's still clueless to a lot of it,
Yes,
and including his own history with it.
yes, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I mean, another recurring subplot throughout the entire show is Yuka's attempts to court Coda, which like and her getting her getting frustrated when he's not paying attention to her because of Lucy because of New.
Which they weren't exactly subtle about that in the show. Like she's
Yeah, I know.
like it's right out there.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Like she wants like it's kind of very weird. It's very weird. Like she wants to court her cousin by and this is the only chance because she ain't seen him since she was a child.
Yeah, and oh yeah, and she's like, apparently she's been in love with him the whole time, pretty much.
Yes, yes,
And like
yes.
that, and that actually plays into the main plot a little bit later on.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
to borrow a phrase from the drinker, it's about like the subtlety in that subplot is just like, yeah, she wants to bone her cousin, by the way.
So we
Like,
learn about
it's pretty
then
obvious.
the next episode after that completely stumped and shocked me. We learned Bundo we can because Bundo had disappeared from the show for such a long time. Now I almost forgot about him. Uh, but then he's back with cybernetic arms, and cybernetic eyes. Uh,
Yeah, when he comes back, I was like, oh yeah, that guy. I thought he died.
but yeah, Bundo he's back. Like I was like he's back. Oh, Bundo he's back. Yeah, cybernetic arms and cybernetic eyes. Which
Yeah, but like everybody thought he died.
yeah, yeah, like but he's back. He got cybernetic arms now and cybernetic eyes. Like
Yeah, like
yeah,
the technology level in this show is actually pretty interesting. Where most of it's just like kind of current modern day,
mm,
where
mm.
but some of it's like straight out of Ghost in the Shell, where they have like full on like cybernetic implants and stuff like that, where it's
And that makes sense. That makes
pretty
sense.
futuristic.
The government, no, the government paid for it. That's why. That's why they gave me able to get access to it.
Which I wish the government had those kind of prosthetics now. Some of my buddies
Yeah.
would be in really much better shape if they were.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's kind of weird. Like he got okay. The government paid for using lots of money. That's why. So,
Which typical
but
government project, waste lots of money on one single thing
mm,
that
yeah.
inevitably turns around to bite them in the ass.
Yeah. So anyways, he immediately he rebels against the military again. He just wants to go after and kill Lucy to get revenge.
Yep. He kind of becomes like a gun for hire a little bit.
Yeah, he becomes a mercenary. I mean, he probably would have anyway if the military wasn't there, because he just wants to
Yeah,
keep the hunt things.
they're pretty clear that like even if it wasn't for the military, he'd still be doing this.
Yeah. He would probably find some way he will join the mafia or he'll become a mercenary or whatever. He just wants to hunt and kill
Yeah.
things. Challenge. So again, he looks exactly like Duke Nukem. He acts very similar. Like that's the thing that blew me away when I first saw this. Did you think Duke Nukem when you first saw it? First saw him?
not so much that. It was just like he's that guy, a platoon or whatever that actually lives for the violence. Like out of like any group of soldiers or whatever, like there's usually one or two that like they're actually about it. Like the rest are just kind of doing what they're told and trying to live through it. And then there's that one guy who's like actually about that life. Like
Mhm. That yeah, we and episode Bundle meets Mayu outside the house. Uh uh and he offers because he's looking for Lucy, and we talks about her. She actually brings yeah, okay, of course he tries to beat information out of her, but early before that he told her he gave her his word that that he would kill anybody who's bothering her, and she brings it up at that moment.
yeah, which she immediately turns back on him.
And he showed his word, so he just let it go.
Well, that's where you kind of start to like Bondo a little bit. And like, yes, he's kind of a psychopath, but he also has a code of honor and like he sticks to it.
Yeah, he actually sticks to it. Not like yeah, unlike her, unlike Lucy, which is yeah, unlike yeah, he has a code of honor. Yeah, like that's what makes Bondo interesting. As he could be just a straightforward villain, but no,
It's like,
uh,
and yes, he's kind of, he's very violent, but he's not overtly evil, and he does actually mean what he says.
yes, yes, and then we meet, and then we found that Nana isn't dead. Nana isn't dead. Kurama had helped her escape, even though he was supposed to kill her, and the director Kakazawa even chewed him out for it. Uh, he gave her a bunch of money so she could survive but she don't know how the outside world works. She was raised in a laboratory from birth, so
Yeah, I forget. I don't know if they say that she's been in there since she was born, but
no, since
certainly
she was
from a
born,
very young age. Okay.
no, since she was born, so yeah, since she was born,
She's
so,
never
so
seen how the world works before.
yeah, and she don't even know what money even is. I mean, he only gave her a bunch of money to survive on her own. Uh, so then she runs, bumps into Bundo, of course, like just there's worst luck imaginable. She bumps into Bundo.
Yeah,
Uh,
like the first person she meets in the outside world, and she runs into the violent psychopath
the
that's
fact
out to kill
that
people, out to kill Diclonius.
yes, out to kill Lucy, and because he knows that Nana's another clone, of course he tries to kill her immediately because he knows they're all serial killers anyway.
Yeah, so he knows just enough about the Diclonius to know what their motivations are.
Yeah. So of course, as soon as she sees evil, she just like Lucy. They probably know somebody is working with her. At least that's what he assumes.
Yeah, well, I mean, at that point, no one's like the assumption anyway is that all Diclonius are like Lucy.
Yes, yes, I know, and they are. Well, except Nana, she is freaking nature.
Yeah, like
But
she is the one exception.
yeah. Uh, um. So so he goes out to kill he goes out to kill so he goes so they have a similar repeat of the fight scene that happened the first time. Uh,
Yep.
but the thing is, Bundo's actually playing smarter this time because he knows how dangerous that clones are now.
Yeah, that's the cool thing with him is that he kind of learns a lot from his mistakes
Yes,
and doesn't just go about it the same way again, like a lot of anime villains do. Where it's just like I'm gonna do it the same way but better this time.
like no. He keeps his distance from the beginning. Uh, uh, you already know. You already know. He keeps this from the beginning. Uh, uh, you almost killed Nana. With headshot because he stopped the bullet just in time.
Yep.
He cleaned out. He cleaned up. Another thing is that he cleaned off the beach because he's waiting for Lucy to show up the beach.
Yep.
Yeah, he cleaned. So there's no litter, so there's nothing else he can use outside just the vectors. And sand, which doesn't do anything.
But hey, at least we have a clean beach now.
Yeah. So yeah.
He may be a violent murderer, but at least he's environmentally conscious.
Mm-hmm. But she
World Economic Forum
now has
approved.
yeah, but now has prosthetic limbs. So she was able to shoot a arm off her body and make it go back to her, come back to with the vectors,
Which that was actually a really cool addition. I thought was how her prosthetics work because they're not really prosthetics
well,
in the
yeah, she
traditional
actually
sense of they're articulated by something to compensate for her lack of limbs. Her hands are the ones controlling it,
yeah, she's
just
puppeteering
like
it
she
with
would
her
a normal
vectors.
body.
Mm, yeah, yeah. So that's interesting. So that was interesting. She shoots the arm off to attack him.
Yeah,
Yeah, shoot. Uh, and he almost kills her. She actually almost turned evil and gave in and turned evil, but she stopped. Because they almost killed each other really, but she stopped because she saw that his hand is cybernetic.
yeah,
Then realized did she not realize Lucy must have did that to him
yeah.
because that's what happened to her.
Yeah,
Eh,
you can see her thought process is like, oh, she did that to you.
they both got the same. They both got the same thing happened to both of them. And Bundle being the being the being the douchebag he is doesn't team up with Nano because he wants to kill her himself. Even though it makes sense, it will make all sense in the world to team up with her.
Yeah, he doesn't just because he's Bondo.
Because his pride, like his pride just his ego's too lost to work when anybody else on the same goal on the same target. Like doesn't make any sense. Like ain't common sense will tell him to work with her. But
Well, yeah,
so
but I can see it like, no, I don't want to work with one of them.
he doesn't really hate that clone at this point. At this point, I mean, he never read about it. He just hates Lucy.
Yeah, but he also isn't sure what her thing is, what her deal is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like for all he knows, she could be working with him, or he could be working, or she could be working with Lucy.
Yes, but yes, no, but both no. She explained that she chopped her arm off too. Like she actually put her arm off to show that.
Yeah,
So they're not friends at all. And he knows that too. She has the same enemy, but he gets her his phone number because the call him whenever she finds her like he's gonna like he gonna be able to do anything. But
yeah, like so
oh,
like there's like this illusion of an alliance there. Like, oh yeah, let me know when you find her, and I'll help you kill her.
also he used not details that he Bondo actually went to some guy got custom made tungsten bullets. Uh, because the mass would be too much for her to stop, for her vectors to stop. So it actually can go through the vectors.
Yeah, which again, it shows that he's not an idiot. He learned from his first defeat, and he's like, okay, that's how I lost. I need to counteract that
Mm,
because that's what
yeah,
I mean. Especially with Lucy, that's what she's used to. Is oh, it's a bullet. I can stop that.
exactly. So he's able to throw. So yeah, during that fight, he's able to throw Nana around with the tungsten bullets. That was interesting because this is how you this is how you make a regular human seem interesting with superpower beings in the world because I almost Uh, I almost wish that because Marvel's been stagnant lately with the Punisher. Actually, I mean, Marvel has been not been doing a lot of good things at all. Actually, as a matter of fact, they didn't do a lot of terrible things. They only care about their politics and that's it. But But if you want to revitalize the Punisher, because people say the old Punisher format is getting stale, why not have him fight some lesser supervillains?
Yeah, or like
Like
some of the really ugly ones.
no, some lesser. I mean, they're not that not as powerful. Like some weaker supervillains.
Yeah, and like some of the really, really evil ones, or some of the humans that are behind it, like the Kingpin or stuff like that.
No, no, like have him fight the lesser villain, like the D list villains that nobody cares about.
Oh yeah, and I mean, especially because you fight the Punisher, and you're probably not going to survive it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So like I'm thinking
You get
about
to clear out some of the dead wood in the rogues gallery.
yeah, like nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. That you ain't using. So might as well clear out that and have them fight the superpower beings with ingenuity. That'll be cool. But that'll actually be cool. But they don't do that
That would actually take
because
like intelligence and effort that Marvel clearly doesn't have.
exactly, exactly. Uh, the whole the second time bundle fights the fights that clone was interesting. Was it like the fight scenes just though done really well overall? How do you utilize the powers with that?
Yeah, I mean,
And
and
yeah,
that's the thing that I really liked about this show in general is that, especially the fighting and stuff like that, it's all very well thought out. It's like, okay, well, we have this character with this power. Okay, well, how does that work?
because another show I did this
And then
very
build
well
up
was
power.
Full Metal Alchemist. I love the fight scenes and how the fight scenes work in that show.
There's a reason that's considered one of the best anime of all time, and
I know.
again, it's because
I
it's
love.
very well thought out.
Yeah, yeah. The author spent a lot of time. She spent a lot of time right when she wrote Full Metal Alchemist. Forgot what her name, is. But uh, Elfen then Nana meets Mayu. Meets Mayu, of course, and gets a much. Here's the thing. She was she she didn't know how the human world works at all. So because of that, she couldn't buy food because she didn't know what money was used for. Because I was I was surprised he wouldn't he I'm surprised the Crown did tell her that in a note or something.
Yeah, like this is money. This is how it's used. So
Yeah.
she did the equivalent of getting dumped, of skipping the tutorial and then getting dumped off into the game.
Yes. So she doesn't know how any this works, and Maya actually has to tell her how money works, because she was used as to burn a fire,
Yeah,
feel a bonfire. Yeah,
which
so
outside of Venezuela, that's not how money works.
yeah, so okay, of course, and then the big twist happens when Nana's brought back to the main character's household, and Makoto Yuka, and then she meets Lucy. Again,
And like this is kind of one of the points that like is really interesting because nobody else in that house knows who Lucy really is.
yeah, but Nana, of course, immediately knows immediately attacks her.
Yep, and that like completely throws everybody for a loop. They're like, "Oh, what?"
Yes,
So it seems unprovoked and like really over the top and really weird, but in the long, like if you know what Nana knows, it's completely justified.
yes. And then because Miles saw Nana fight Lucy earlier, but she just kind of blocked it out. And then then come find Nana's arm does really come off, and then she Nana had to explain the whole situation to Mayu.
Yeah,
So
because
uh,
I don't know that Mayu blocked it out, but she's just kind of like, it's like that's kind of one of those like, oh, none of my business. I want nothing to do with what's going on over there.
yeah, but yeah, so uh, yeah, and then that same episode we get Lucy's backstory, which uh which did not that actually made me hate her more. Actually, that made me sympathize with her.
Yeah,
Because I saw
and, well, like you start sympathizing with her, and
not
then you
really. I
learn
just
more.
that just really explain what the deal is. That didn't really make me sympathize with her because
Well, at
because
first, like, especially at points like, when the kids are bullying her and stuff like that, like, you do feel bad for her a little bit, but then you learn why the kids are, like, all creeped out by her and stuff like that.
no. The thing is that no, because she had Hornswoggle out of her head, and
That's all the kids
that's
know,
what.
but also there's been a rash of disappearances and stuff lately, and then you
No,
find out.
no, no, that she didn't start killing people after she was bullied.
I thought she'd already killed at least one
No,
person.
no, no, no. She wasn't killing people at all. Um,
I thought, well, wasn't she staying at somebody's house and she killed them for it, basically?
that's later.
Oh, is that after? Yeah,
That's
yeah,
after.
you're right.
So, that was after. So, but we get Lucy's backstory, and we learn Lucy wants okay, I when I saw this, I already seen the Joker movie. It just recently came out when I first saw this, so I already we get a similar thing here, but less sympathetic,
Yeah.
like but less sympathetic. So and with superpowers, like you seen the Joker movie probably.
I actually haven't seen the new one, no.
Uh, oh, but but we get a whole flashback to her childhood when Lucy was in an orphanage. And everybody hates because she got horns grown out of her head, and that's it. And they even say those horns are disgusting,
Yeah.
and the village all feel like crap because of that. And then eventually eventually she finds a puppy, and that becomes her only companionship. And then the bullies come in and kill the puppy.
Which, like, you can tell really hard, like, they're trying to make her as sympathetic as possible.
Mm. Yeah, it didn't really work that much though.
Yeah, because, like, what
Because
she does after that is just like, yeah.
yeah, that's worse. That's what she does is worse than what the bullies did. Keep in mind, Lucy's not John Wick. Not John Wick. John Wick doesn't kill civilians.
And he certainly doesn't murder, like, 3 10-year-olds just because.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But anyways, after kill a doll, her powers activate and she kills all of them. Four. She killed four kids.
That's
Uh,
right, there is 4 of them, yep.
yeah, the three boys and one girl. But
Yep.
then she kills all four of them. Then after she kills all four of them, she goes on see, I mean, the kids were psychopaths, but at the same time, they probably, I mean, the lead boy Tomu probably would have been a serial killer himself anyway, but he would have done less damage than Lucy.
Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, like he would have become a serial killer anyway, but he probably would have done less. He would have done less damage to Lucy anyway because he's just a regular human.
And also, like, Lucy's, in the next episode or 2, she's killed, like, 20 people in the next 3 days.
Yes, yes. So yeah, yeah. So he's just regular human. So he would just want to be a regular serial killer, regular human serial killer, probably. Whereas, yeah. So I mean, uh, uh, after she kills the kids at the orphanage, she runs away from the orphanage because she doesn't want to go to jail. So
Well, yeah.
she breaks to the house of innocent family and murders them so she can sleep in their house because she could have easily asked. I mean, there's so many things. His thing, the thing with her murders there. Next episode, the thing with murders there, there's so many things she could have done that don't involve her killing people, outright killing people. Considering the
Yeah.
power she now has. Because she could easily she's just a little girl. She could easily convince them to stay in her house. Say convince people to stay convince somebody to stay in their house and either through a ploy of sympathy ploy or under a threat of death or even there's so many things she could have done not just directly kill. She just went straight to murder.
Yeah, like, she doesn't even try to find another way. She just immediately kills people and takes their stuff just because.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, she kills people. She kills a whole family, and of adults and children, and takes and then sleeps in the house and uses their shower and eat their food.
Yeah.
immediately, and then it's real that, and then she keeps doing it, so she's now officially a serial killer, and then that's when the police comes after, start coming after, so detectives start trying to investigate.
Yeah.
They so I mean every night she just kills somebody else. So then when she bumps into Coda she bumped into Coda when he was a kid, and he's landscape painting. So she's immediately smitten with him because Coda actually compliments her for her horns, right, and then bullying her for the horns like everybody else.
Yep.
That's the only reason why she didn't kill him. She was going to kill him. She was going to kill him too. Actually,
Yeah, and in that opening scene, like, wasn't she like about to kill him?
yeah, she was about to kill him when she first met. She about to kill him, but then he complimented her for the horns, and then that made her stop.
Yep, and like he's like the only real friend she ever had.
Yes, and she was more than just a friend, but as we
Well,
learn
yeah.
later. But uh, but she so she tries to they go out and it almost felt like she could have been happy at some point. Like she goes out on she goes out on basically a date with him. Like it was very like a lot of people actually say this is very heartwarming scene. I mean, how did you feel during that?
I mean, it kind of builds into the tragedy of the whole situation. And like this is like a
Mm,
classic Greek, like, almost Shakespearean tragedy where we know how it ends.
exactly,
And this is all
exactly.
just adding to it.
Yeah, so like she goes on a date with him to the zoo, and like like it like she actually was enjoying herself with him, and that was only half a day in her life apparently that because what happens later is so what happens later is uh she hears about going to a festival with to see his cousin, and then um and then she gets insecure about him wanting to date his cousin, which she's not. I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong to suspect that. I mean, because you imagine Japan, you could actually date your cousin, so it's actually somewhat normal to date your cousin, at least in Asian
At least
cultures in
compared to the
general.
West. It's
Yeah,
nowhere
in
near
Asian
as
culture.
stigmatized as it is here.
Mm. Coda lies as a boy, and she actually does show up the festival since it's gonna be the last day she ever sees him.
Yeah,
Me,
and like the funny part is like it's a little innocent little lie. Basically, he's such a nice guy that he just lies to her to avoid hurting her feelings,
mm,
and that ends up setting off a chain reaction that leads to everything later.
yeah, because apparently earlier uh she realized she can't stop thinking about committing murders,
Yep.
but because that's what the creepy voice in the head tells her to do all the time, just commit murders.
Which, like any good serial killer, there's a voice in her head telling her to kill things.
Uh, yeah, at that moment there, early in the story, while on the train, she told Cole to kill her if she said she can't stop killing people, which
Hmm.
in the manga he actually does, by the way. At the end of the manga.
Yeah. Which I always thought that that was something that they kind of left out of the anime, and that he should have been the one to do it.
But no, the manga that actually does happen.
Good, good, because that kind of seemed where everything was leading, and then they veered away from it at the last minute.
Yeah,
And that kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like, wait a minute, like this is where you were going with this. Why is that not happening now?
yeah. So she and then she goes on but at the festival she goes on a killing spree once she see that Coda wasn't being honest that
Yeah,
actually was a girl whose cousin was she wants
Which, just a
and
little
then
bit of escalation. My boyfriend lied to me. I murdered like 16 people.
so yeah, yeah, I mean, she's her personality. She's basically a mass shooter, but with superpowers.
Kind of, yeah.
And she wants to just kill her. She wants to kill everybody at this point. So, and here's the thing, because
Although
people assume,
it does set up the question at this point in the series of like, is she that way because that's what Diclonius are and that's what they do, or is it because of things that happened to her in her life? And they never really, they kind of, this is what I kind of like about the series is they don't ever fully answer that question. They
I
kind of
don't
leave
know.
it up to the viewer to decide
Mm,
what the
although
relationship is there.
I think they can't overcome. I think they can't overcome the inherent evil because Nana can.
Yeah, well, I
So
mean, then that's kind of the cool part of Nana's character too, is you have the two sides of you know their nature,
yeah, mm,
and Nana's
yeah.
also never been through the things that Lucy has.
No, Nana has no. She's been tortured in the laboratory for years from birth, but that's it.
True, but she hasn't ever dealt with normal people before.
Exactly. So she just thinks how the world. That's how the world normally goes. She get beat up in the laboratory.
Pretty much.
But
Which, if you're
but
Diclonius, well, in most cases, yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
yeah. Well, uh, so yeah. So, but anyways, Lucy goes out. Anyways, we wait when the president after we learn about all this uh that's uh actually did after we learn about all this the government decided to send in another Diaclonius to kill Lucy. This one, Mariko, is another psychopath, just like Lucy is.
Yeah.
We get the scene where they established that she was raised inside she's raised inside the tube when they were taking out the tube for her entire life.
Yeah, like she's been in
So
that one prison, like, enclosure her entire life.
and she can't even walk because you never use them leg muscles for anything at all.
Hmm. She's been, because she's so powerful, she's been restrained ever since she was, an infant.
Yes. And she's then she killed then Marco turns out is actually just as much a psychopath as Lucy, considering that she kills the scientist who's supposed to deal with her immediately.
Yeah, like, if anything, she's actually worse than Lucy.
Not exactly. I mean, she's basically the same. What?
She's just as evil, except she's even more powerful.
Yeah.
And you can tell clearly from like the first indicator, like she enjoys it.
Yes.
Whereas they don't really tell you that that Lucy really enjoys the killing.
Actually, in the manga, they explicitly state and show that she does actually more
Oh, okay.
openly. So the basically the same.
But in the anime, they never really go into that part.
Yeah, she's more stoic in anime. The manga, she actually laughs all the time.
Yeah, like she's far less maniacal in the show than I feel like she is in the manga.
Mhm. The but yeah, I mean Lucy and Mark are basically are basically the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is that Mariko doesn't have a reason to be evil. She just is.
Well, I mean, she's been kept in a prison cell her entire existence, so there's that.
But that's not but she doesn't even really know these people outside. There was knowing about these people at all. Like that's not like well, how wait, huh? Like she doesn't have enough of that's not I don't think that's enough of a reason. Like
No,
that's
she doesn't have a lot of like motivation to do what she does.
like they actually treat her like crap. These took her out the test tube out of a tube. Out of a life support tube. Like
Yeah,
that's not that's not a motivation to do any of this stuff. But they put bombs in her body to control her.
because that's as you see, pretty much as soon as they start dealing with her, that's a very good idea.
yeah, just a Suicide Squad method. We put bombs in the body and then blow up. If blow up, she ever disobeys.
which is about the only way you can control her.
Mm. So, but think Marco. Okay, Marco shows up and at first he's supposed to kill both Lucy and Nana. That's what the crackers I ordered. By the way, I forgot I skipped over this part, but we did after Arakawa brings the severed head of Kakazawa to his father.
Yep, which is that as introductions go, that's suboptimal.
No, 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 no. And then it's revealed that he didn't give a damn about that son's life at all. Then he sounds just a nuisance to him. He's annoyed.
Yeah, like they try to play it off a little bit in the show, like he goes insane because of his son's death, but
No, he doesn't.
yeah, he was
He
that
doesn't.
bad before.
No, 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 not at all. His son's just a nuisance. Like he doesn't care that son died at all.
Yeah, and like he uses that to manipulate certain people, but like behind the scenes, he didn't give a shit.
That's exactly.
Like
So
he could not have cared less that his son was killed because he just not a
yeah,
thing to him. Doesn't really matter.
exactly. Then again, and manga Lucy does some more extra horrible things that puts him on her on his level. I mean, this doesn't happen in anime because it's never got like I said, the manga wasn't finished. The anime was going on. The anime just finished, wrapped up that story. But
Yeah,
it didn't know in the manga. This is funny. This is strange. In the manga, Lucy tracks down her own mother, biological mother, just to kill her.
yeah. They don't. She doesn't do that in the anime.
Mom never shows up, but in the manga,
I feel like the anime tries to rehabilitate her as a character a lot.
yeah, and in the manga, she tracks down her own biological mother just to murder her, and also she found out she had a half brother to who was created from the director Kakazawa forcing himself on Lucy's murder, but she uh
Okay.
but she murdered but she murders the half brother too.
Oh wow. So at least she's consistent.
She didn't really need to kill him. I mean, kill him. I mean, she didn't need to kill either of them. She just felt like it.
Well, but at least she's consistent in killing everyone she comes into contact with.
I mean, she does. Yeah, she does play in the role of Dicholius, but it's really all on the powers is what they care about.
Yeah.
They basically think Lucy and Director Kakazawa are basically the same. Only difference that one has powers.
Yeah. And the other
Yeah, so
one's
that
trying to make use of that.
yeah, I mean, because Lucy actually plans to take over the world of manga. We actually see that Kakazawa actually has the same goal. They all
Yeah.
have the same goal, like the same and pretty much the same motivations too. I mean, uh, because Director Kakazawa, he had to go through the same stuff Lucy went through, him being bullied for horns his entire life. Because he doesn't have any power, he's gonna really do anything about it.
Which yeah, like they don't really go into that in the anime much in terms of
Yeah, but
Lucy's ultimate objective.
yeah, her goal is and the objective was to take over the world. At least that's what take over the world. That's what she said for that clones
Like I
take over
said,
the
like
world.
I think the anime really tried to rehabilitate her character quite a bit
Mm.
and to like make her much more sympathetic than the manga does.
Because the backstory is exactly the same, but yeah, but
But they don't really. Well, I mean, it's more like they leave parts out of her story that make her into the monster she is in the manga based on her own behavior, whereas they kind of just gloss over that in the anime. Like, oh yeah, a bunch of bad shit happened. We're not going to go
yeah,
into more of that. Moving on.
yeah, Mariko shows up. She first tortures Nana because well,
Of
she's
course
just the
she
only
does.
one because it's one of the few times she got a chance to kill somebody. So she's gonna drag it out as long as possible.
Yeah, pretty much.
David told her to kill, told her to finish her, but Fellowship was saying us, but no, it's not a saying nothing. But Mark said no, out in the pain.
Yeah, she's just
No,
like, oh,
no,
that
no,
was boring.
no, down in the pain, down in the pain. I'll be that like she the fun will stop. She's going to keep torturing her until she slowly dies. Which
Yeah,
so
like in the anime, like she is an absolute fucking monster.
yeah, Riku, yeah,
She is sadistic. She's violent. She's completely unstable, which you know is why they had a bomb in her
yeah,
in case she ever gets off her leash again.
yeah. So we learned we get the uh 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 when Neil turns to Lucy this time, however, because I've got to tell you this early in the show. Uh, early in the show, Lucy cut her hair. No, Neil cut her hair. No, on Impress. No, to cheer up. The cheer up the Coda to Coda because she's sad about sister being gone.
Yeah, and that really like it kind of brings it into more focus. Like, oh shit, this is Lucy.
New side. Because he might Lucy and New two different personalities that two very different.
Well, yeah, but like she's becoming more and more like Lucy the longer the show goes on, including like
Yeah, like
she
she
kind of
stays
learns
as
how to
Lucy
talk
more often.
normally.
Yeah, she actually stays as Lucy more often.
Yeah. And she actually, I
Uh,
mean, even in her Mew phase, she kind of learns how to talk more and is more,
yes,
capable.
yes. Although the personalities are still very different, and the manga that actually goes on longer, of course, goes on longer, of course. So because of that, she actually News actually somewhat horrified by Lucy's actions, but so I
Whereas
just
in the
want to make
anime,
that
they don't
straight.
really give any indication that Mew is aware of anything Lucy's doing.
She actually does come aware in the manga. But
Yeah, okay. In
there's
the
a,
anime, they never really go into that. Like Mew's completely oblivious to anything that Lucy's done.
mm, yeah, she actually does come aware. Well, come aware in it. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah. So, but also, yeah, also, but Coda sees new transforms Lucy for the first time, with his own eyes for the first time, and that brings back
Hmm.
memories, uh, memories from when he's a child, and then we learn in this scene that's on the flashback she actually killed his sister and his dad on the train.
Yeah, it's like the next episode and a half ish is like what is the backstory going up to that point, to the point where his father and sister are killed.
Yeah, yeah,
And it
we
turns
actually
out that
learned that.
Lucy killed both of them.
Yeah, well, she murdered both of them, and she let him live so that he can kind of live with his family being dead.
Yeah, like that's like the most evil part of it is like she wanted him to live and suffer because he lied to her.
Mm,
And it's
yeah,
just like by the end of this is like it's clear that Lucy is not a good character at all.
I know.
Like she is
Yeah,
every
so
bit
like,
the monster that the other characters are.
she's actually she actually worse than both Kurama and Bundle. The only character, like I say, was just as bad as her is Director Kakazawa and Marie Mariko.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
yeah. So
where it's freaking it becomes clear at this point like just how bad she is.
mhm. Yeah, like she did, she kept him alive. Like okay, that's very normally it's just yeah. So, but then
And
Bundle shows
they
up.
kind of try to play it off as like a heartwarming thing too, like oh she couldn't quite bring herself to kill her friend,
Yeah, but then we
but
learn
like
about the
that's
whole
not
stuff.
why.
Then we learn the whole stuff about Kurama. Then I'm like, no. No, 'cause keep in mind, if you didn't watch the bonus episode, um, we had this actually didn't air, but it's actually about Kurama's back, more Kurama's. I forgot, I skipped over Kurama's backstory. Uh,
Yeah, they do go into that in the show. I think that a little bit, but I think they go into it more in that bonus episode.
yeah, no, no, they go more into Lucy's backstory and her relationship with Kurama when she first
Okay,
met him. But
because
but
because in the main show they do go into his background, and that one of them, and turns out to be Mariko, is actually his biological daughter.
yeah, and yeah, because Kurama was hired by Professor Kakazawa to work on the plan on something to do with Daclonians.
Yeah,
So then and then he tortured them in the laboratory using cannonballs to see how
yeah,
strong
that
the
was an
creatures are.
interesting one.
They tortured these little girls with cannonballs. And keep in mind, they all murdered their parents when they hit when they hit 3 years old.
Yeah, and that's like, and basically it's like their parents will be the first victims.
Yes, yes. Because and then learn how why the babies keep getting born. They don't know why until Kurama gets infected.
Yep.
Like clones that who the professor immediately kills. But yeah, so uh, but basically apparently she the girl didn't plan to kill him anyway. She wanted him to spread that clone's gene around.
Yeah, well, I
But
mean, he was never supposed to be he was always supposed to be that, and that's when they kind of reveal how the Diclonius spreads.
yeah, yeah. Since they can't, since the users don't work, they infect men with their vectors that cause them to so that whenever the man tries to have a child, get impregnates a woman, the child will come out as the clone,
Yep.
and he might be mostly female. But
Yeah.
uh, whenever affected man affected by that clone has sex with a woman impregnates her, that the child will come out as a Daclonius and will kill her parents, and when she is
Yep.
3. That is utterly horrifying thought.
Yeah. Pretty much. That, like, yeah, that baby that you love and care about will kill you as one of its
Like
first cognizant acts in the world.
like that like that shit chills down my spine when I first saw that. Like what? Oh, that's what? So
Yeah.
yeah. And then of course since Crown was affected, he impregnated his wife. Then she has that clone is uh uh she has that clone he has that clone as a child, as a daughter, Mariko.
Yep.
And his mama and his wife died in childbirth.
Yeah.
Well, not in
After
childbirth.
trying to trying to stop him from killing her.
Yeah, stop him from killing her because his job demands that he has to.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And
uh,
that's and like he's apparently done that a bunch of times where he's helped other guys or had other guys kill their children because they're Diclonius. And then when it was his, he couldn't bring himself to do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I was like, and his wife's stomach ripped open, trying to stop him.
Yep.
So that
And then
was
she basically bleeds to death because
yes,
she was injured giving birth and she just dies there.
yeah. So yeah, I'm like, I was yeah. So yeah. So but Karama sent Bundo again. When repaired his own cybernetic arm that he broke.
Yep.
Uh, it's funny how that works. He went repaired an arm and then sent him again to kill Lucy again.
Yep.
Because he realized he's using Mariko for this.
Yeah. Well, they realize that she's basically the only option they've got.
Yeah. But and Bundo of course finds Lucy again just before the last episode. Now, what happens in the last episode was so disappointment. That was such disappointment. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it was kind of a letdown how they ended it in the anime. It sounds like the manga was much better.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Because in anime, Bundle gets beaten off screen.
Yeah, that one was like, why would you do that? He's one of the most interesting characters you have.
Yeah. Now this, now does he get beaten off screen, but also now doesn't really do anything this episode. Um, so and uh, and then Crown decides to be blown up with his daughter.
Yeah,
That doesn't. I don't think that happens in the manga.
which that
Um,
was actually well done.
uh, uh, yeah, I mean, like yeah, because it's like and then when the biggest disappointment in the final episode of the show, and and this is the biggest disappointment was that Conan encounters Lucy again, and then he knows he has all his memories back now.
Yeah, so he knows everything she's done, especially in
Yeah,
relation
so
to him.
yeah, she kills his family. So so he so he uh so he tried to help so he tried to counsel her so he doesn't kill her or even try to stop her. So even Yoshi outright tells him that the clones he plans to have that clones destroy wipe out the human race.
Yeah, and that's literally what they're for.
Yeah. They just in the whole world is ruled by the clones. Because the next stage is human evolution or something, so that kind of stuff. So she's just going to start killing people. So she's
Which
not going to stop killing people.
that's kind of a trope in animes from like the 90s and 2000s. Was like, yeah, it's like next step of human evolution thing. Actually, going all the way back to like Mobile Suit Gundam in '79.
Mm.
That was a subplot in there with the new
Yeah,
types.
but yeah, she's gonna wipe out the human race. She's
Yeah,
not gonna stop killing people, basically. And but despite this, Koda doesn't kill her or try to stop her.
yeah.
Uh,
In the anime, he just kind of nods along with it. It's like, yeah, I know.
and then she just goes off, and then most police show up. And then eventually they not. And I think the anime tried to plot that she committed suicide by cop. Like she's
Yeah,
walking to the bullets and stop. But like that confused me. Like what? Why was she? Why was she not? Why was she not defend to keep herself alive? She still has reasons to keep living. Keep living.
yeah.
Like
Like she still has a plan.
yeah, I mean, it's not like she turned good or something. It's still same Lucy, but she just wants to be with him at him. And then at the end, she won't try to keep him alive as her boyfriend or something.
And
And that
again, I think
doesn't
that's the anime trying to kind of make
like
excuse, like kind of try to rehabilitate her character a little bit, and basically be like, she realizes what she's done and that she can't live. So she basically just
that
goes off
doesn't
and lets
make
somebody kill her.
we didn't yeah like we didn't see any good. She didn't say she's gonna stop or not. Like she ain't even, like the only
No, she hasn't
implication
even
that
hinted that she's going to.
the only implication that she regretted her action implication that she regretted her actions is that because in the manga it actually does have this too was that she felt sad she felt sad she felt bad about killing Koda's family but
Yeah, but those are
but
like the only murders she regrets.
yeah like what about the innocent children because it's not just the boys that she killed, she also killed a lot of
Yeah,
innocent
like she
children
didn't
too.
just kill the bully; she killed everyone in the area.
Yeah like did she once broke into the house of a Bickman family, remember that, or just a
Yep.
happy family and she killed them like
Yeah,
yeah like
because they were arguing, she just offed all of them.
no, it wasn't no, no, because she's living in a nice house, and and then
Oh, that's
they
right.
had
Yeah,
happy life. It's just normal little kids. You heard all her voices as normal little kids.
yep.
So, I'm like, so she just killed. Okay, yeah. I'm like, so like you don't regret none of that. You just regret killing his family because you hurt him personally. Like,
Yeah, right. Like they tried to, but she is just too evil a character to be sympathetic to, really.
yeah, exactly. Like, no, yeah, there's no way I'm
It's like
sympathizing
the
with her.
shit you have done, like, oh, but you regret that one, and that makes it all better, right?
Hmm.
Oh, you regret the most evil thing you've ever done. Okay, cool. That makes the rest of this, all better, I guess,
So
somehow.
yeah, like I know I don't see that. I don't. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah. So and Nana goes lives a happy life with the with the with Koda's newfound family, I suppose, of girls. But but
Yeah,
that but that's about, yeah, that's how the anime ends. Of course the manga ends. If you don't know how manga ends, the manga ends with 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 Awakawa. Remember?
yep,
She develops the cure for dichronia. A vaccine. Yeah, she develops a vaccine that when injecting them, so we inject somebody infected with it, uh, basically the whole infected thing that's cured.
yeah. So they can actually have normal children again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah, and also the Dichronous races that is guaranteed to die out because they can't reproduce any other way. So the females.
Yeah,
So because of that, the clone race is over basically.
yeah.
That's how
Which
it is,
I do like that ending better than what we got.
and also Lucy. What happened to Lucy at the end was because of when you were playing stuff falling apart because of that. Um, because of that, and she actually come to find out the Director Kakazawa had a bunch of child soldiers of the colonists that he's raising,
That
and
does not
now that
surprise me in the least.
now on that, but he's also a serial rapist to go
Again,
with.
knowing his character, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and the reason, and yeah, we because at the end of the show, he got horns too, as we all know, just like his son. Um,
Yeah.
he has horns too, but he actually, he actually was bullied. Yeah, according to him, so we never actually see a flashback. He was treated like crap for having horns. So he wants to take his revenge around the world by doing all this horrible stuff. It's the same as Lucy.
Yeah.
So, but so anyways, all the child. But anyway, Lucy takes command of them, but they get killed too. Also, there's also also Bundo Bundo and Bundo encounters Lucy multiple times over the course of the manga. I mean, at one point, he had Bundo in the manga. He turned good because he actually saves Mayu from Lucy intentionally because
Oh,
Lucy's going to kill Maya at one point. So
well, I mean, and again, you never see that because I think they were trying to make Lucy a very different and more likable character in
hmm,
the anime.
yeah, because she's going to kill Mayu because Mayu said was wondering if Lucy was a bad person or not. She so
This
she's
girl's
going to kill
wondering
her.
if I'm a bad person or not. I better kill her.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 but Bundle actually turns good. That's kind of surprising when you watch the anime. Like, well, not
Yeah,
fully,
because
but
he's like a character that's not outright evil, but he's more chaotic than anything.
mm,
Where he's
yeah,
more of a
and
wild card because which I do like how they use him in the show in a couple of different ways where they basically throw him into a situation to just add a little bit of a wild card in there. And like you're never quite sure what he's going to do.
mm,
Whereas
uh,
uh, whereas it seems like the anime was trying really hard to make Lucy more of a tragic
mm,
figure than anything else.
yeah, yeah. So, uh, so, uh, yeah. So there are differences here. Because keep in mind, this is not the only anime I've watched with a very disappointing ending. Because I also watched Machiko and Hatchin. Machiko and Hatchin. That was an anime 2007.
Okay.
Very disappointing ending. Uh, if you don't know what that was about it's set in a fictional South American country that looks exactly like Brazil. Um,
Oh, so it's one of
like,
those where it's like it's totally not this country, but it absolutely 100% is.
yes, it's totally not Brazil. So I mean, everybody's black. You just you get to get his pictures Brazil.
Yeah.
And the main character is some little girl. The little girl who gets who's abused by her family. She's a doctor. She's abused by her family before she had a slave basically. And then she gets
Yeah.
rescued by some adult woman who's a criminal who claims to be a murderer, even though that's not the case. Obviously, as a black woman giving birth to a white child, how's that work? Exactly.
I actually believe there is a chance of that happening. I think it's just very, very low.
I know, very, very low. Yeah, so I knew that couldn't be the case. So it wasn't apparently. But so, like how's that work? So but anyways, Michigan has to go around looking for Hachin's dad. Yeah, it was a great show up until the last episode.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And a lot of shows fall over at the final hurdle.
because
I mean,
yeah,
I direct your attention to Game of Thrones, where for 7 seasons they've been building up, this big bad and the Winter King and all that, and the White Walkers, and then in like one episode it's all done.
and Snow wasn't even got to kill them. Just keep in mind, I never saw Game of Thrones, but I know somewhat about it because it's part of pop culture.
Up until season 7, it's actually really, really good.
Yeah, because I know watched it, but it's part of pop culture. So I know a little bit about it. Well, I do. Well, yeah. What I do know is that Snow didn't kill Jon Snow didn't kill the Winter
And there
King at the
wasn't
end.
like any of this like epic battle between him and John or him and any other character. It's like, there wasn't like this epic struggle and like, that lasted like most of the episode. And then eventually, he gets brought down. Like, no, he just gets marked by Arya in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and then the main
Like
tag of the
this
show
big
winds
bad
up
that they've
being
been building up for fucking 7 years at this point as like, oh my God, this thing's coming. Like, we all better be ready.
yeah.
It's like,
They just
dead.
kill. And then what's her name? Turned evil, Dragon Queen. I forgot what her name.
Daenerys. Yeah, like, well, I mean,
Daenerys.
you can kind of see that happening over the course of like seasons like 5 through 8, where she has these like she's overall a very good character, but then has these moments of just absolute monstrosity. And unfortunately, and like those start happening more and more as the series goes on.
So yeah, so yeah, so but then yeah, I didn't want to watch Game of Thrones because it never seemed like that kind of fantasy that interested me that much. I mean, when I read the character descriptions, the only character that seemed to interest me is Jon Snow.
And he actually wasn't that interesting a character in terms of everything that's going on.
Yeah, the reason why it interests me because he's the only one that is actually a hero, like a normal hero from
Well, I mean, after the rest of the Starks get it, then yeah.
yeah, like that. Yeah, so that's the only. Yeah, they felt like the only character from reading the scriptures that they actually felt like a hero, whereas it pretty much is because he's part of the military. So
Well, which the funny part I always thought was like I'd read the books, so like when people like were getting into the show and they're like, oh yeah, these Starks are awesome, they're great characters, and I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate.
yeah, I never read fantasy novels. Yeah, yeah. Although I do want to get when I get some kind of cash, I do want to buy all the Dritz novels. I mean, you heard them right?
Which one?
Dritz novels, Dritz books.
I don't know that I have actually.
What do you mean? This is one of the most famous D&D so expansion material ever, lore material ever.
I haven't read that much into the D and D novels.
that is the most famous. The
Okay.
you gotta know about. You can't know anything. Play D&D for any period of time and not know something about Dritz. Uh, you know
I've
Dritz.
probably heard of it. I just don't remember.
Yeah, if you know Dritz is he's the good drow.
Oh yeah. Okay. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, he's the good drow.
I haven't read them myself, but I do know a little about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the drow that decided not to be evil and become a great hero.
Yeah.
And rebel against his people. Uh,
Yeah, Game of Thrones is much more like the political machinations, a lot more like Dune in a lot of ways, where it's a lot more political maneuvering and stuff like that, rather than like high fantasy.
yeah, I prefer the high fantasy type of role where his actual hero goes on the quest to fight some villain. Uh, I prefer that. I don't really care so much about political drama thing.
Well, I mean, and I think they both have their merits. Like there are universes in which that's done well. Like BattleTech is my favorite one with that because it's every faction has their good points and they all have their bad points.
Mm,
Unless we're talking the Capellan Confederation, in which case, yeah, they're basically just assholes from from top to bottom.
mm, mm,
Um, and like 40K, there is no such thing as a good character as a universally good faction in 40K.
mm,
And that's what makes some of the characters that are good compelling is that they have every reason not to be.
mm, mm. Yeah. So yeah, that's also the reason why I've never been that interested in the Warhammer 40K universe. Although I will try to get some more into it from I'm going to start with a graphic novel. I'm going to start with one of the graphic novels, but
I
um,
would be very careful. Are you talking about the one with the Ultramarines from Marvel?
I don't know which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to say chosen which one I'm going to start with yet in regards to the graphic novel.
Because there is a comic book series from Marvel for 40K that deals with the Ultramarines that's absolutely god awful.
No. Okay, I'll skip that one. Good advice on that one. But I'm going to pick one because there's a whole bunch of Warhammer 40K now comic book made.
Yeah, I don't know about graphic novels. There's a ton of books,
Yeah,
like
there's also a ton of
hundreds.
comic books, by the way.
Oh,
Like there's
are
also a
there?
ton of
Okay.
comics and comics too, of course. I mean, of course, they franchises like size like Warhammer have a ton of comics. Plus, there's so much individual.
That's all happened fairly recently, though. Up until like the last 10
No,
years, 40K was pretty obscure.
no, they had 40K big book. He had 40K comics made back in the '90s, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Union of Amateur Strategists is right. The Horus Heresy is a great place to start with that because it's kind of the thing that sets up everything.
Okay, but because the thing with the Warhammer is that there's no really good guys, so I don't really care too much about the
Well,
characters.
it's
So
not. I mean, it's really that they're all understand. It's really just the universe itself that is just that terrible.
mm, mm,
In that they all have. It's not that they're all evil assholes for their own reasons. It's
mm,
they're all evil assholes because that's how you have to be to survive in that universe.
mm, mm,
And like I've seen a bunch of the leftist morons that have gotten into 40K, like, oh my god, the Imperium's so xenophobic. It's like you would be too if your neighbors were the orcs and the Tyranid.
mm,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
orcs
yeah,
just kill
yeah,
shit because it's fun.
yeah, yeah, but yeah. Another thing is this. It's easy for me to get in D&D. Another reason it's easy for me getting D&D and uh, than um than Warhammer is that D&D has more customization.
In terms of role
Because
playing, it's a lot. D&D is a lot better, I would say.
of course, that's what I want. That's what I want. Like yeah, you can have so many different plot lines, so many different things.
Well,
Mm,
although that being said, like 40K, like especially Dark Heresy, has a lot of things you can do in terms of storytelling and stuff like that.
mm. Like with D&D, here's one thing I like with D&D, you can actually have monsters of different types work together more easily. Because even though they are evil, they can make alliances just they don't automatically hate. The different races don't automatically hate each other like it does in Warhammer.
Well, you do see that every now and again in 40K, where the Imperium has worked with other factions in the past, like the Necrons,
Mm, mm,
to overcome
mm,
another threat.
mm.
Then they'll immediately start trying to kill each other again because it's the
Yeah,
Imperium. It's what they do.
yeah, Yeah, I mean there are some factions in D&D that they just automatically hate each other, like the devils and demons. They hate each other. You know about the Blood War, right?
Yeah,
The Blood
with
War in
like they
D&D.
yeah, and I mean you sent me a lore video on like the history of like demons and all that, and like yeah, they don't like each other one bit, but
Yeah,
they're
because
willing to kind of work together
no,
to kind of
they don't work together at all ever.
well, but there's one faction of demon that was like in a minority and was almost
Succubus, they
killed
actually
off.
work. No, Succubus, no, Succubus actually work. Well, Succubus actually play both sides in Blood War. They don't.
Oh, okay.
You lost. You lost. They're not actually demons or devils. So, um,
But
I
yeah,
think the other.
40K, like the one of the cool parts in 40K is that the Imperium is a lot of times its own worst enemy.
Okay.
And that like even like in one organization like the Inquisition, like there'll be different parts of the Inquisition that are actively working against each other
Mm-hmm. Don't the
because
only
they have
D&D
different
book.
goals.
Okay. Okay.
Because like there's
Yeah.
two sides of the Inquisition. You have what they call Puritans, which are basically out to destroy all, you work against chaos no matter what. And then you have the radicals who are willing to use chaos magic and stuff like that against chaos.
Uh. Yeah. The chaos magic. How is that different from the Cyclers?
Well, it's not essentially. It's all they're willing to use the powers of the warp against chaos.
No. How's the warp different from Cyclers?
They're not. They're the same thing.
Oh.
But they're
Oh.
also willing to use demonic magic or demonic items and stuff like that. Like, a demon sword or something like that. They're willing to use it against the ruinous powers.
Oh.
And usually
Oh.
end up being corrupted by it.
Of course.
Which is why the
Of course.
Puritans stay the hell away from it because it inevitably corrupts everything it touches.
Yeah. To me, in my mind, this rap was just dumb. That's what I'm getting from this.
Well, I mean, that's the fun thing is like they, and sometimes they are successful. And there are a select few that have been immune to that corruption. But most of the time, it's somebody always thinks they're going to be one of those few, and it almost never works out that way.
Yeah. The only D&D novel I actually managed to get is the Black Wing, which I didn't start reading yet. Well, that's one of Dragonlance books, but it's not one of the main books. I think it's a spinoff. You heard about
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Dragonlance
the
book?
D&D novel series I haven't kept like real track of. Like I know they exist, and I've read a couple of them, but it's never a rabbit hole I've really dived down like I have with 40K or BattleTech.
Yeah. Because the reason why I'm so interested in the lore of D&D was because you can. It's so like you just put these things together. Like there's so much you can make for a campaign or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, and BattleTech's kind of like that. Well, BattleTech is like that in terms of like what you can do and where. Like
Mm,
and the same thing with 40K in a lot of ways. Like there are so
mm,
many people, or there's so many planets in the Imperium that
mm.
you can basically set it wherever you want,
Yeah.
and different
Um.
types of different planets run different ways.
Mm, and yeah. Not to mention, you can also bring in the Magic the Gathering lore since I think in 3E they actually fully canonize Magic the Gathering with D&D.
Yeah, I think that was third edition. I think.
Yeah, it started with third edition. Um, they brought D&D monsters in as Magic the Gathering cards, and even and in 5e this a couple years ago before it went woke. They even made Ravnica from Magic, one of the Magic the Gathering worlds, a campaign setting for D&D. It is the
Well,
same
and I
book.
think when they did that was right about the time Wizards bought D&D. Like
What
right about the time Wizards of the Coast bought D&D.
that's back in the pre.
Well, that
But
was back in the 90s, I think. Yeah, the third edition was when Wizards bought them out.
yeah. So what I'm saying is that because you can bring in because it's been canon since second edition that there are ways you can travel between campaign settings in D&D, in lore. There are a couple ways.
Yeah.
But yeah. The only, of course, most people wouldn't know it, but there are a couple ways like the Planescape was guy's own video game back in the 90s, I think, or 2000 around that time.
Planescape. Yeah, I think they did. There was a Planescape game.
Yeah, Sigil, City of Doors, etc. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I
So
don't think I ever played that game, but I've seen the cover.
yeah, Sigil, City of Doors. I want to play that eventually, of course, on my computers. Now I get access to PC gaming now.
The only like
Um,
D&D video games I've ever played would be the Baldur's Gate series.
okay, the Baldur's Gate's most famous one. That's set in Forgotten Realm. Same
Yeah.
thing, Never Winter Nights. That's it. Yeah, it's a Forgotten Realm setting.
Well, and Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights were actually both the same company, BioWare,
Yeah,
and
but
they're
no.
both excellent series.
Okay, I'm gonna start playing these old games like that because I want to experience what I missed out on because I was just born around that time.
I think Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are available on GOG, so they'll work with modern systems for not that much money, if I remember. Actually, let me look that up.
Yeah.
Uh, 1 second. Search. Oh yeah, there's a ton of Baldur's Gate games in here. Um, Baldur's Gate Enhanced. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Baldur's Gate stuff in here.
Mm.
So that's cool.
Although the next anime series probably do is uh I know I had my hair earlier, but uh uh not all what's wait I forgot guy's name. Been a while. I'll probably tell you later in Gilded. Come back to me.
Absolutely. I hate when that happens. It's like I know I had it. I don't remember it right now, but I know I had it.
Mhm. So yeah. But yeah. So overall closing thoughts. Elfen Lied anime.
I mean, overall, it was really well done. The animation's great. It's very well
True.
drawn. The music's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Since this thing came out in 2004.
Yeah, like the music's pretty good. Both the intro and outro music, and also just the soundtrack in the show itself is pretty decent.
Mm,
Um, the storyline was okay. Like you say, the manga makes it a lot better because they go into more detail,
mm,
and you get like the full picture of who you're dealing with, rather than just what the anime decided to tell you, which apparently was not most of it.
mm.
So overall, I'd give it like a 7. I'd say
Yeah.
it's well worth. I'd say it's well worth a watch if you're into the more graphic side of anime,
Mm. I mean,
because
y'all know that.
that is a big disclaimer. Like, if you are not into graphic violence, do not watch this series.
I mean, yeah, I know it used to be a lot of that back in the 80s and 90s, but it
Oh yeah.
stopped. It stopped, went down. So
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's just kind of it. They kind of try to go more publicly accept, or widely acceptable with it.
mm, mm. So uh, so uh, so yeah. So yeah. There's also Elfinly. There's also a slide shows I got a calls from that calls to after this like Dead Man Wonderland. Uh, which it got canceled after one season. That was so disappointing when that happened. When I found out that. Uh,
Which that happens to a lot of good stories where like they either it doesn't take off for whatever reason, or
uh,
something happens and they end up getting canceled. Like Firefly went
yeah,
through that, where it's an excellent show, but they only got half a season out of it.
yeah. Reason why I can't Dead Man Wonderland got canceled after one season is on cliffhangers was because the show made money, but only in America. It didn't make money in Japan, so they decided to cancel.
which most anime producers see the United States almost like the European metal bands see America, where it's just like it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Like it's
So
not
yeah.
like the
So
real market. If it hits in America, it's great, but that's not what we're designing it for. So if it doesn't work at home, we're not doing it.
yeah. Uh, I mean, yeah. Yeah. But I'll probably go back to you later. Later. So bye, everybody in the chat. Bye. What's his name? The Union of Amateur Strategists.
Yep, the guy I've streamed with before, he's a good dude.
Okay. Bye.
Have a good one, guys.